There are two critical components of advanced healthcare planning. Number one is a healthcare power of attorney, and number two is a living will, which is often referred to as an advanced medical directive. The purpose of this video is to cover the basics of advanced healthcare planning, but at the end of this video, I will include some helpful resources. So if it's something that you're interested in learning more about, hopefully those tools will be helpful to you. The first document that we'll cover is the Healthcare Power of Attorney. This is a document where you can name a designated agent, a healthcare agent, who will step in and make medical decisions for you in the event that you would become incapacitated and therefore lack the cognitive function to formulate decisions and to express them independently. The actual legal definition for competency in Pennsylvania, quote, a condition in which an individual, when provided appropriate medical information, communication, supports, and technical assistance, is documented by a healthcare provider to do all of the following. Number one, understand the potential material benefits, risks, and alternatives involved in a specific proposed healthcare decision. Number two, make that healthcare decision on his own behalf. And number three, communicate that healthcare decision to any other person. So once you are no longer able to meet that criteria, your healthcare power of attorney would kick in, and the person that you've named as your agent will be able to step in and make decisions for you on your behalf. The healthcare power of attorney can also provide for a period before you would become incapacitated if you wanted to grant your agent the ability to obtain healthcare information from your healthcare provider. So this is essentially waiving the requirements under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA. Then at the time that you would become incapacitated, the healthcare agent would be able to step in and make decisions for you. You can name multiple people to serve jointly or independently as your healthcare agent. That is probably not the preferred method, just because you want to avoid a problem arising if those two individuals would have a disagreement on what type of healthcare treatment you should be receiving. But if you would feel more comfortable having two people named, then you can do that. And you should always have a backup, somebody who can step in and serve in that role if your first chosen person, for whatever reason, isn't able to do it at the time of your incapacity. I also want to draw a distinction between a healthcare power of attorney and a financial power of attorney. The names sort of address their underlying purpose, but just to be clear, a financial power of attorney, generally speaking, does not cover medical decisions. Sometimes you can see these two documents prepared together, but in that case, they often have provisions outlining both medical and financial authorization. So just because you have a financial power of attorney, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have a medical power of attorney. And so you may want to take a look at the documents that you have and see what you do and do not have. And if you don't have a healthcare power of attorney, it's a good idea to start thinking about drafting one. The second document that we're going to discuss is a living will, or an advanced medical directive. This is a document that addresses whether or not you would want life-sustaining medical treatment in the event that you have an end-stage medical condition. Those two terms are defined. So let's take a look at how Pennsylvania law defines those two terms. So first, starting with end-stage medical condition, this is defined as an incurable and irreversible medical condition in an advanced state caused by injury, disease, or physical illness that will, in the opinion of the attending physician to a reasonable degree of medical certainty, result in death despite the introduction or continuation of medical treatment. And this next piece of the definition is really important because people worry about this document taking effect too soon. So the definition goes on to say that, except as specifically set forth in an advanced healthcare directive, the term is not intended to preclude treatment of a disease, illness, or other condition, even if incurable and irreversible, and regardless of severity, if both of the following apply. Number one, the patient would benefit from the medical treatment, including palliative care. And number two, such treatment would not merely prolong the process of dying. And then the second definition that is important there is life-sustaining medical treatment. Life-sustaining treatment is defined as any medical procedure or intervention that, when administered to a patient or principal who has an end-stage medical condition or is permanently unconscious, will serve only to prolong the process of dying or maintain the individual in a state of permanent unconsciousness. So this type of medical treatment is not going to bring you back to a quality of life. As the definition states, it would only prolong the process of dying or keep you in a state of permanent unconsciousness. Now, we tend to think of these documents as pull the plug documents, but that's not always the way that they're used. Some people designate within the document how they would wish for their life to be extended. So I'll give you an example. Some people have a specific provision in the document that says that they wish to be kept alive until family would have an opportunity to come and say their final goodbyes. That's just one example. There are other details that you can include in the document, but just to know that this isn't a one-size-fits-all form, you can get a little bit more detailed in how you would like the document to be administered. Similar to a medical power of attorney, it's a really good idea to have a backup so that they can step in and make decisions on your behalf if your first chosen agent isn't able or willing, for whatever reason, to be there or be available or to make those decisions at the time that they need to be made. So what do you do with these documents once you have them executed? First, it's a good idea to give the document to your attending physician, to your primary care physician. If you are enrolled in a healthcare system, it's a really good idea to provide a copy to the healthcare system administrator so that they can upload the documents to be made part of your medical records. If you feel comfortable providing a copy to your designated agent, I think that's a really good idea. At the very least, explaining to your family or whoever you've appointed as your agent that you have the document completed and you have it prepared and where they can access it in the event that they need it. But if you're willing to have an open conversation with your family and with the person that you've named as your agent, I always recommend that that is the best way to make sure that your wishes are met and that your family isn't overburdened by not knowing, by the uncertainty and doubt over what decisions you would want them to make. If they're not able to locate the document or they don't know that it's been prepared and you haven't had the conversation with them, they won't know what decisions you would prefer that they would make in one of those end stage decisions. For more information, I highly suggest that you make contact with your local community health organization. In Lebanon County, where I live and where I practice, there is an awesome organization called the Community Health Council of Lebanon County, and they have an organization, or an initiative that's called Aging Inspired that is specifically designed to help people start thinking about advanced medical planning. And I'm going to link in the description below a link to their website because there are some amazing resources online that they make available to you for free. So I highly suggest that you check them out, and I hope that you find them helpful. I work with individuals to help prepare these documents because I think they are critical components of a broader estate plan. But the truth is, in both form and substance, these are healthcare documents. So I'm really hopeful that healthcare organizations will take on initiatives like Aging Inspired, like the Community Health Council of Lebanon County, to start the conversation with people in their communities about having these documents prepared and thinking about what types of information they would want to include and what types of things they would want their family to know when they're not able to communicate those things on their own. If you're interested in getting more information, check out those resources. I hope that you find them helpful. I hope that you found this video helpful. And if you like this content, please let me know. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.